all you could hear was the sound of the waves. They lapped up on the shore, almost similar to those new cannon shells that those in the upper lamina had developed. The ground shook beneath your feet. It felt like the very base of the world had come unhinged during the warfare. It felt like, through your flesh, through your iron, you could feel the very shifts in the tectonic plates beneath you. You and the ocean were one at the time, so you had little else. They didn't find you until a week after the fighting concluded. Apparently, some grand necromancer had thrown up a wall around the outside of the demonic incursion. The armies of men had marched into the area, were slaughtered down to a man, yet the necromancers of this land saw purpose for their corpses still. The fight had ended, quietly, outside of your purview. You rested here for a time, until someone came to retrieve you. A shocked individual. You remember his words, striking your ears, almost disrupting the resonant call of the ocean waves. Whoa, you're still up. Wow. Kind of a shame, huh? All right. Well, what do we do with you now? He sat down next to you. You both looked out on that ashy gray ocean. We'll probably want you back up there. He motioned with a thumb, and your eyes scanned the horizon. What towered above you was what appeared to be a large plate. Almost the entirety of your world, the only place you'd ever known, Deep World Lamina. Right now, you were parked squarely on the sulfuric lamina, the bottom of the world, a great ocean. Hand on your shoulder, a call through the iron. With any luck, we won't see each other again. I've got a future in this new era. Not exactly like you anymore. He shook himself to his feet, allowing the steel bracer to fall away from his arm. I think the Malori are calling for you. Stop by one of the safe houses on the way back and, do me a favor. Don't tell him you saw me. World's gonna change. People like me, well, a light flicker of flame around the edge of his hand. The gods might finally recognize us, huh? He walked away, leaving you on that shore, quietly, lost in meditation. And we return. Now, this might be, perhaps, at odds with the tone of our night's journey up to this point, but it feels important to register a few significant changes to not only their character, but their capabilities. So, if you would temporarily entertain me. She sits forward at the edge of the bonfire and holds up a hand. Flame begins to coalesce around the tips of her fingers, and something flares to life. Almost a vision of your dear sweet night. Now, due to experiences in this land of Vinyat, you have developed and changed. Your growth has been guided from, let's say, the outside. Specifically, when posed with the question, how would you like to develop? It seems like everyone was in more or less agreement that they would like to keep your attributes almost dead even. Nothing, not a single one, not say red or blue or yellow, is winning out right now. You are all completely and utterly dead even. However, the manifestation of this took a very interesting turn. The vote on this front wound up being rather divisive. The question came down to, are you going to have a +2 in all stats? And significantly more health, or a +3 in all stats, and significantly less health? Well, with 87 votes, and a bare victory, 35 HP and a +3 in all stats was decided. This makes you more aggressive and your attributes more effective. However, there is less of a health buffer as a result. This poll was almost swung by the Patreon voters in favor of more health, but fewer stats. Next, I asked the very important question. You gained a sword and shield during the last session. Which attribute would use it? It seems like almost universally everyone agreed that our blue lore stat would be wielding the sword and shield, making it significantly more tenacious. Almost as a response to that, other votes were tallied, and similarly compared between the vote of sword and shield and the vote of which attributes will use knuckle claws. It seems that you almost universally agreed that Beast of God should use the claws. However, for Fool's Hope, it was a toss-up between the sword and shield and the claws. The claws won out barely. As a result, our red stat will be using the claws, our blue stat will be using sword and shield, and our yellow stat will also be using the claws. The last question I asked was a rather difficult one. You can add 1 level to any one of the gifts that you obtained during the previous session. The gift that you chosen to increase the potency of was the Deep World Meteor Glass. As a result, your regenerative capacity is increased by 1 point. While you formerly regenerated 1 HP per act, now you regenerate 2. Again, a similar set of questions will be posed in the coming week, so we will do another one of these updates when next we meet. But that isn't the only reason that I called you here. Last time, I asked which attribute you would send our dear knight. You decided the purple attribute. As such, I'm sure you and I both have been patiently waiting to share your ideas and suggestions. I am going to observe for 2 minutes, and then draft a list, and we will perform a vote. Please, if you would, begin. You got 2 minutes on the clock, guys. I'm going to be taking notes. I'm muting my mic so you don't hear the clacking of my keyboard. Excellently done. I will now narrow this down to 3 varied choices. Seriously, phenomenal work, everyone. These rule. Okay. Time to punch him in on the GM layer. All right. I will give you a short period of time to vote on this. Longer than usual. This is not a momentary decision that should be made in haste. After all, this informs a significant part of your character. If, as before, the results are somewhat close, we will rely on the coin to decide. As such, please vote with all of your hearts on Journey's End, Wandering Stray, or Sunken Mind. I believe I've observed enough. In that case, I will be adding Wandering Stray to your character sheet. Now, a special gimmick, let's say, of this unique format. Your attribute will be added immediately at a level equivalent to the lowest level attribute you have. As such, Wandering Stray will join at level 3. Currently, they remain unequipped. Their equipment will be decided over the course of the coming week. I hope you welcome this new aspect of yourself to the fold. When next we meet, I will ask what attribute you wish to add next, but there will be an additional caveat. You will only be able to act with a grand total of 4 attributes. So, keep in mind which attribute you might want to swap out for another. With all that being said, I wish you luck on your further journey through Vignette. Thunk! You and the Solar Knight hit the ground. She is still dragging you by the hand. You are yanked along behind her, and perhaps this music isn't the most fitting. Hard to tell if she's mad or not. Genuinely. Difficult to see. Of course she's angry. It makes sense. After that idiotic move, apparently the creature that we failed to finish has been rampaging around. I think angry is an overstatement, to be honest. Let's just let's just try to do the right thing now, okay? We'll finish it off. And if we do, maybe what? Like, I thought you were the guy who was on the side of, oh, let's leave it around to see if it gets into more trouble or draws other people out. Seemed like a good tactical call at the time, yeah, sure. Unfinished business eventually winds its way back down to the person who created it in the first place. This is our issue now, and we do need to handle it. Right, agreed. Sure, fine. She stops and stares at you. You coming? Yes, of course. You stride out alongside the Solar Knight, deeper into the settlement. And I move us here. The pair of you hold on. Let me send you back there. Music broke, just gotta hit the jukebox real fast. I'll look at chat in the meantime. I'm loving all the purple suggestions. Okay, there we go. Back. This one. There we go. So. The two of you travel into the township where you see in front of you a man clothed head to toe in what appears to be a large purple robe. He holds a staff by his side that have individual talismans hanging off of them, dangling damn near to the ground. Attached to his chest appears to be almost a tank or a fishbowl. It's quite the oddity, only reinforced by the fact that you see what appear to be long lines of kelp driving themselves not only from the bowl, but up the side of the man's armor, and beneath a basket that rests atop his head. You can watch as it almost sickeningly pulse like veins, forcing water from the bowl into the basket itself. He focuses water in one of his hands, and you watch as it condenses down to a singular point, and I show his gift. Profane Erodin. Short summary. This individual has an ability called water casting. This allows him to roll to die, which is a thing that he gets a 1d6 bonus on due to proximity to water. He focuses his energies and is going to fire a blast of water at a +4 bonus at a shape that you see sitting in the distance. Okay. +4. Let's hit it for a... Yeah, okay. And then we roll for the bagman. You watch him fire a line of water. It almost condenses and pings with a hiss and a whistle over the lip of this narrow cliff, and it flies into the distance, and you hear him loudly curse as he sprints off into the distance, and you and the Solar Knight pause for a moment. It's clearly another one of the contestants. Okay, I need to get over to him to make sure that you pause. You think for a moment. If it's another one of them, Laura almost speaks up. Wouldn't it be better if we leave the bagman and one of the other competitors to deal with themselves? And? Oh my god. All of your attributes feel very strongly about this. Okay. It's time for another good old-fashioned decision, folks. I'm gonna hit you with the 1, 2, 3. You've got what each of them believe. Beast of God wishes to get the hell in there. Lore says leave the caster to his own fate. If he gets bagged, that's his problem. And then, of course, Fool's Hope says rush in there, tank for the caster, make sure everything's good. So, you got an option. This is a split second one. You rushing in with the Solar Knight to beat the shit out of this guy? Are you rushing in to save the caster? Or are you just gonna chill and let this play itself out? Oh boy. Okay. In the split instance, your mind makes its decision as the Solar Knight levels her Brain Smasher and starts to move in, one heavy step after the other, and Beast of God starts to stride up behind her, moving in pace, and then, of course, somebody else takes over. Hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, I got this. You rush ahead as you catch up to the caster as he rounds the corner. Hey, pal, why are you... You wanted to ask, why are you closing into melee range? And the second you make it to the top of the stairs, you realize the caster isn't the only one fighting this individual. He raises his staff once again, almost taken aback for a moment. It's like, help me deal with this, gesturing at the creature in front of you. If not, I worry about what that thing is going to do to it. Thing? You focus in on what appears to be a blurry shape. It's viciously attached to the bagman's forehead, and it's biting him? Almost a twitching mass of teeth and fury. You see this being clawing on the front of the bagman. The caster, again, is going to level his staff. And we roll to die, add 1d6. We'll lock in this one. He's going to take a shot. He fires again, and I don't think I even need to roll for the bagman, but you know, we'll do it anyway. Yeah, we'll grab this one. Okay. Another bolt of water flies at the bagman as it flails backwards, almost slamming its head backwards, trying to dislodge whatever's attached to its forehead. And it is going to roll to do. Slams back. And whatever the being is, kerthunk is thrown off of its forehead and rolls backwards across the ground. It steadies itself, rising to its feet. Picking up a spear and leveling it at its side, you notice the body language has utterly changed. Instead of that same almost feral attachment, this individual stands with utmost composed grace. She swings her spear around and levels it at the creature again, is like, hey, can I get some backup? You stumble forwards, yeah, of course. You move into the area and square up to the bagman, and of course, we are going to act on Fool's Hope's initial prompt. He's going for it, rushes in as you raise aloft the knuckle claws and attempt to punch in at the bagman. And barely, your attack is deflected. Oh wait, no it isn't. You get a +2 on this. Duh. Your attack barely connects as you punch past and actually land a good blow. The individual behind you seems to follow your lead and try to close the distance. Stabbing forwards, she carries through with the spear, landing a hearty hit on the bagman. The two of you almost seem to press the advance, causing the figure to stumble backwards towards the edge of the cliff. Her gift activates. The bagman takes a wound, and I activate Moonblooded. This was one of the gifts that you could have chosen at the very beginning of the game. Whenever you cause a wound to the target, you get a roll to recover. You watch as blood flows from the creature directly into her, and she manages to almost recompose herself for a moment. She levels her spear, spins it, and then leaps into the air, vanishing. To share another ability. Seventh Moon Spearhead. Leap into the sky and return to the world with a thundering crash as an action. Functionally, she will be back at the start of her next turn. The Solar Knight is going to catch up to the area and actually pause exactly where she is, because chat, you know what time it is. It's time for the Bagman to throw out good old-fashioned, abduct. Okay, the Bagman is going to try to lock down 3 angles. Functionally, you have 3 escape routes right now. You can run towards one of them for free. The Bagman is barring 2 of them. And if he manages to predict what direction he thinks you're going in, you're getting stuffed in that sack. So try to mind games the Bagman. Think about it real hard. There's a church over there that provides a lot of cover. You could dive backwards and down the hill, or you can rush straight towards the waterfall. What way do you think the Bagman will not expect? Decide now. Okay. Seems pretty unanimous. You see him lift the sack as he did before, and Fool's Hope, dear sweet Fool's Hope, that has done this song and dance once before, uses every segment of their tiny little brain, firing all at once, every neuron to give you the reflexes to squeeze past this person. You take one step backwards for a split second, looking towards the entrance to the church, and you watch as the Bagman's expression twitches in that direction as well. And when you do, you charge forwards towards the edge of the cliff, squeezing past directly through their feet as the bag swings over your head. Good job, you dodged it. They spin on their heel, raise the bag up, and are going to go in for an attack. As you roll this. 14. Ooh, 14. You duck and weave at the very edge of the cliff, diving downwards and actually intermingling yourself with the water. Your regenerative capacity hits its zenith as you pull yourself free of the water, prep for a counterattack. You start to emerge. I roll to die. Okay. Fool's Hope has this. They believe. They take a step forward, water coalescing around their feet, and swing upwards towards the jaw with their knuckle claws. The attack naturally gains a +2 bonus. Let me wound the Bagman. Okay. As... let's get rid of this stat. Yeah. Roll the die. Will it hit? Yes! You managed to connect with the monster's jaw, throwing an attack that shatters bone, and you close in, igniting to follow up. We go... die? Of course. Bam! You connect another shot with the creature's jaw. So we roll to die again. Ooh, this would be a clash. Okay. You clash, and again, the +2 bonus wins out as you close in, ignite double the damage, and just press this assault. You move into the area and perform a haymaker, Beasts of God leaping into the air and pressing both of their palms into the creature's empty eye sockets. It stumbles backwards and you land, splashing into the water. And at this point, we are going to roll to do. You feel an almost overwhelming presence, bright as the sun, close in behind you. As Solar Knight closes in with a Brain Smasher, she swings it and hits with an almighty chunk. That will be 6, 10. Okay, the target's knocked back 5 squares as you send it to the very edge of the... Oh god. You send it to the very edge of the cliff and wound it again. The Bagman is on his last legs. However, I realize something's about to happen. You press the Bagman to the edge of the cliff. And the caster Profane Aradin is gonna roll up. God, he needs this 1d6 so bad. He will cast again. He shoots a beam. This beam pings forward and manages to strike the Bagman. And he starts stumbling on the very edge of the cliff. And it is in this moment that you put 2 and 2 together. And, you remember the expression and attitude of the individual who just leaped into the air when she was still attached to this being. And you have a moment to witness in sheer horror as she falls from the sky, striking the Bagman on the forehead and forcing him... Oh, right. Hold on. We roll this. And I show off the 7-moon spearhead. She forces him to the very edge of the cliff, and with this ignite, he reaches up, grabs her, and they both just fall over the side, down into the abyss below. For a split second, you see as, again, that same expression takes over her as she starts just biting, gnawing, and grappling the creature as they both vanish into the abyss below. Oh, is the only thought that runs through your head. And you have a moment as you hear a great splash from beneath. And again. Oh, a fun thing has happened. Beast of God and Fool's Hope are currently locked out, which means only 2 voices are capable of decision right now. The pair has just thrown themselves over the cliff. According to your earlier suppositions, you could probably survive a fall down there. Lore speaks up first. We are going to turn around, assess the situation, figure out what's happening with that caster over there. But a new voice speaks up in the back of your head. They clarify their position. A very light, gentle voice. but one that drips with an almost unhinged air. Yeah, but at the same time, we could survive a drop like that, right? Jumping over the edge wouldn't be too difficult. Plus, if, like, somebody's in danger down there, why don't we hop down and back them up? We didn't take any damage in that fight. Our regenerative capacity is top notch. Throwing ourselves down there shouldn't be a big deal, right, guys? The other two are silenced and cannot speak. Chat? Momentary decision. Do you continue the fight? Or do you stay? Holy shit! Oh my god, it's so contested. Okay. Okay. You exhale slowly. Let the water sort of regain stillness around your legs. Right now, the warmer minds within yourself are more quiet than they've ever been. The two that are currently focused and internal run as cool as water, and yet they are equally opposed. Taking the 4, Wandering Stray takes over. Looks at these two. Notices a change in body language. The Solar Knight takes a step towards you. And in this moment, you notice the caster almost start to channel water again. And it seems like he's aiming at her. But before anything can happen, you speak up. Hey, bud. You control water, right? He stops, twitching. The Solar Knight similarly looks over at you. Hey, pal, she went down there. Let's go off together, okay? If you can control water and I regenerate from water, shouldn't be too big a deal. Go off the side? I suppose that is a rather direct route. The caster starts to move his way over. And, like, as if the hostility is forgotten for a moment, just need a favor from you first. He pauses. Come with me, and, don't fight and kill each other, okay, guys? Solar Knight seems taken aback for a second. The caster pauses and allows the water that was almost coagulating around his fingers to fall away. I am curious about that beast. Yes, very well. She splashes her way over in this direction. I guess you are solving the problem and taking the most direct route. How am I supposed to catch up to you? You feel her almost shoot a glare. Look down. You'll probably figure it out. Okay, guy, you ready? Sure. Fine, alright. He slowly rises as water again begins to form around the base of his cape, and he starts to flutter his way down the waterfall. Phew. You exhale lightly, hostility successfully disarmed, turn around, and I roll to die. Unlock the other attributes. Of course, these ones are. These ones show up, immediately rushing to the surface like, Beast of God looks down and is like, I will make good on our earlier promise. That creature will not live to see another day. Take it easy while we're gone! Turns, leaps, and delivers on Purple's promise, hurtling into the water below. Okay, chat. You're flying down a waterfall at breakneck pace in a full suit of armor. I have a very important question. How you gonna live this one, guys? You are currently hurtling towards the water below. Here are your choices. Each leads to a radically different outcome. You can grab our numbers. Take Beast of God's option. Try to plunge your arm into the wall and slow your fall via physical force. You could follow Wandering Stray's advice, aim for the water, or follow Fool's Hope's advice, try to find an individual to catch you. So, we stopping ourselves? We hitting the water? Or are we trying to find a friend to catch us? Lovely. I love the vote of one. This goes hard. Okay. The choice is made. This outcome's very funny, actually. Okay. You fly down as all the voices in your head begin to bicker with one another. Streaking past, you fly! And as you do, you aim for the pool of water around the base of the waterfall. Did I roll? Okay. You fly through and breach the surface of the water, and in your iron armor, slam into the base, and your entire body rocks, and the world goes dark. You dream of the last marker of civilization that you interacted with. Almost a warm cottage set aside by the Malori, very edge of their territory, here to keep an eye on the sulfuric lamina below. This area was barely maintained by anyone with authority within the Syndicate. And yet, you wound up with the misfortune of being here today of all times. Discussions had gone sour, let's say. With the emergence of the demonic thread on the sulfuric lamina, there were two different areas that one could back. Throwing wholeheartedly that a group of profane, heretical casters could hold back the demonic incursion, or hedging your bets on the godly empires of man. The Malori had made their bet, investing most of their fortunes in defenses set against the demonic horde and allowing those that didn't follow God's teachings to die on the sulfuric lamina. They placed a rather hardy wager that the war would end in the heretics' disfavor. You and a contingent of those now inconvenient to the Syndicate were sent to meet your ends during that war. And yet you came back, The necromancers had won. Perhaps it was a marker of the shifting era, or the mark of a new time yet to begin. But the Mallory could feel the noose tightening around their neck. All right. This will probably be your last assignment. Vineyard is to the north. You're to investigate the area. Should dire times fall upon us, there is a rather convenient ritual that can be done for the sake of our syndicate. You will ascertain that the grounds are conducive to the forthcoming contest. Should be simple enough, even for a dog. You remain quiet, meteor glass still clutched in your hand. All right. All that's left is to drink. You slid the cup towards you. By this point, you were acutely aware of how the Mallory operate. Likely a slow-acting poison that would take your life over the course of the next week or so. Associating it with them would be quite difficult, but even then, there was no attempt to hide the fact that they desired your death at this exact moment. It was simple formality. No one would come looking for the body, and no one would be confused to find a steel-clad knight dead in the middle of an ancient kingdom where steel cultivation was still considered sacred. You look down at the cup. He knows you know what's happening, and yet he expects you to drink anyway. And the worst part is, you can't find the words to say no. Hey! Drink! Drink! Come on! Come on! Drink! Come on! It's a perfunctory, insistent voice. Your eyes open. Sunlight streaming in through the windows. You look around for a moment. Where the hell? This is like a house. It has a roof. Incredible. Beast of God almost marvels at the place. How long has it been since we've had a roof over our head? Lore chimes in barely. Guys, focus up. I think the one in front of us wants our attention. You turn over and see that individual that jumped off the edge of the cliff, now sitting directly in front of you, holding a cup of water. I'm gonna be honest. I was worried you might have choked to death because it seemed like you were drowning, but you were like sopping up the water like a sponge. That seemed to make you better, so I tried to put water down through where it's hard to figure out where the hole in your helmet is even to begin with. So it's just like pouring it around. So you're gonna have to do the rest. Come on, drink. She gestures over at the water. It could be poisoned. Poison never bothered us. Chad, I asked the question. Do you drink? 1 yes, 2 no. One, okay. Okay, all of ones. You slowly take the water. And as if choking down a bad memory alongside the glass, you begin to drink and... Ugh. I give you a roll to recover, and I will set your health to this total. And you will continue to regenerate. On the side, let me display your health really quick. 5, 3, 5. 26. Lovely. You feel the water sort of sop in and start to heal your wounds. One of the few things that has kept you alive, or whatever life state you're in, for the last few years. You slowly exhale and feel your body stabilize. There you go. Okay, nice. She moves her way back in this direction and starts to mess around with a pile of equipment back here, and before too long, she walks back over and has clenched in her hand something extremely interesting. Some deep part of you almost rises to the surface in response to seeing it. It's an axe of almost beautiful quality, transcendent. Gold filigree runs along the inside, mixing gold and steel. Now that is heresy on a level that, when you pause, you look at it. This axe's shape, the way it's been crafted, it seems ancient. You see the dings of a blacksmith's hammer actually scarring the metal to some extent. This wasn't made with any form of pyromancy, no form of metallurgy. This was made by hand. Likely, if there's any magic or otherwise contained within the weapon, it was added well after the fact. Look down at the axe and appreciate it for what it is. A thing of beauty. A blacksmith being able to reach this level of proficiency in this age of the world, it's almost unheard of. So, I've got to decide what I'm doing with this thing. You tilt your head almost from confusion. Well, the way I see it, that big guy dropped it when he died. So, logistically speaking, this is one of ours. It's either mine or yours. You landed a few good hits there. Plus, she squints at you. If I'm right, that thing reeked of fear of you specifically. I think you're responsible for why it was so wounded in the first place. I might have gotten the killing blow, but the thing was on death's door when I started with it to begin with. So, how are we gonna settle things? You look down at the axe. And? I roll for our attributes. While you have 4 attributes, you will still only gain 3 suggestions. They will be the 3 suggestions of the 3 that rolled highest. As such, Fool's Hope will not present you with their idea of, nah man, keep it, it's yours, everything's chill. You do not get that option this time. Instead, you get the options. Stated most strongly, because, of course, Beast of God lives this life. Fight me for it. The winner gets to take it. Laura's suggestion of, I think we should study it first, figure out what its properties are. It might not even be something that we want to begin with. Followed, last but not least, for, let's make a game out of it. What is your choice? Fight for it, study it, or make a game out of it? I'm seeing a lot of 2s and 3s. I am going to, in this case, I'm gonna I don't think we need to bust the coin out yet because I realized we can do Lore's suggestion and then follow up with another one once you've decided. Lore's doesn't bar you from 1 or 3, so we'll just go with 2, and then you decide after the fact if you actually want this. These? Lore looks down at it. If I may? Yeah, of course. She roughly hands it over to you. Take it in your hand. You look at it. And I will post its effects in chat. This one I will read out fully because you chose it as an action. Sunspot. An ancient weapon once held by a member of the famous company that defended Old Vignot from the first demonic invasion. Worn by the warrior of the trio, this axe burns brightly in the presence of the undead, its inner core so incensed by the defilement of life. It is said that when sufficiently angry, Sunspot will detonate with the fury of a supernova. Weapon specialization, +2 to all rolls, with a +1 of every stack of Solar Fury. Sun Cleaver. Whenever Sunspot begins an act nearby an undead, it begins to glow, gaining 1 stack of Solar Fury. Similarly, whenever it strikes an undead, it gains 1 stack of Solar Fury. On 6 stacks, Sunspot detonates violently, dealing 66 damage to all creatures within 3 squares, and knocking all parties back an equivalent number of spaces to the damage dealt. Damage is doubled versus the undead. Proficiency. You gain a bonus to the development of your Sacred Fulguris. And the interesting point about Lore doing this, you reach out your hand, and when you do, the axe begins to glow. Whoa! Whoa, 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 what? You look down at it. Okay. I think I got you. So, you're not one of the living, huh? There's almost a moment that crosses your mind. Maybe it's something that has resonated quietly at the back of it, since you spoke to the necromancer earlier. But it feels almost natural. You slowly open and close your palm. The sensation of your flesh does feel somewhat alien. But how are you still moving? Why are you here? And you look out the window. Why do you still have cognition? The other undead of this area, they seem so mindless. You look down at the axe, sigh, swing your legs up over the side of the bed, and I'm going to decide which attribute feels most strongly about this. Oh. It's actually kind of sad. Fool's Hope actually bubbles to the surface first, and for a moment, they aren't their usual bubbly selves. Oh. So, I'm dead? Oh, man. Well, can't say there was a lot still left for me to do. Didn't exactly have a great bucket list or anything, but... Wow. You look down at your hands. Question. You speak up lightly. Huh? Yeah, shoot. Are undead, like, common in the rest of society? Can't say I've ever seen a talking one before, no. That's rough. She lightly speaks up. You look back down again. Okay. Well, my tenure where I was over already. Guess this is just the start of something new for me, huh? Yeah. Good attitude, I guess. If you really believe that. You look down again! Chin up, man. It's probably not all that bad. Like, look, you regenerated from jumping off a cliff, and that's great. She is trying desperately to cheer us up. This is pathetic. It's kind of working, though, to be honest. If her body has new, augmented properties due to its state that could grant us advantages or something, now you're being pathetic looking for a way out of this. Guys, did we have goals, dreams, hopes, aspirations? What did we leave unfinished? There is still plenty of time to finish things. Dead or not, we are ourselves. Persuasively spoken, I guess. I'll get you another cup of water. You seem to really enjoy that. She rushes over and starts to muck around. Almost quietly, you look over at the axe that hums with the silent fury sitting in the chair that it's been placed in. Almost subconsciously, two options pop into your head. One, do you wait politely for her to come back? Or two, do you grab the axe? For a split moment, you look at the axe and you're like, But you decide to be polite and sit and quietly wait for her to return. Rushes back around, comes back with another fresh cup of water pulled from the well, sits down, sort of shoves the axe aside, and she's like, okay, so drink up, tell me when you're feeling better. You drink, and indeed, you start to feel a little bit better. Max you out. So, it's probably not all bad. If you're here as a conscious undead, you must be here for this Defiance of Liars thing, right? What's that? Well, the end goal of it. Overcome the Defiance of Liars. She raises a finger. Puts up a second one. Sever your own mortality. Hey, it seems like you're ahead of the rest of us on that front. 3. Ascend to the realm that only gods are aware of. Pretty much, I took it for face value. Path to godhood. Aspire to a new flame. You turn this over in your head. This one speaks up. That's not something we've heard about. Interesting. Path to godhood. I suppose the solar knight that we spoke to earlier alluded that this is some ritual meant to grant sacred secrets, but I didn't understand that the stakes were quite that high. She quietly nods. I've only encountered a few of the other people drawn to this land, but for one reason or another, I think we all have reasons to avert our own deaths. Like, bad at the imagery for this. It's like, we all have a hangman's noose resting over us. At least that's the impression I got. Though it might be, what's it called? She taps her foot. Projecting, that's it. Oh, hey, Fool Soap, hi. Fool Soap almost follows up on that point in the conversation. You have a reason to come here to avert the hangman's noose? Question marks. Yeah. Yeah. No, pretty much. She, stands up. Have you ever been to the moons? Motions with her thumb. You slowly shake your head. It's hard to tell if some distant journey of yours brought you up to those high moons, but at least right now, it seems like this isn't part of your collective experience. Well, there's 6 great moons that people live on, mostly in the shadows. Then, the 7th moon, bigger than the rest of them. And, blood pools across its surface. For people like me, it's pretty much the only choice we're given. If you're caught, say, committing some great crime, they give you a choice. Join our Order of Knights, or, go to jail or face execution. I, chose the Moonblood. She, actually lowers what appears to be like it's like a cloth tied around her mouth, and you see a long, jagged row of sharp teeth. If you're unlucky, you get bad mutations, but mine are pretty advantageous, to be honest. I'm going to, again, relink the Moon-Blooded gift. This grants her the ability Mutation, Dragon's Ferocity. You can take 2 turns per act instead of 1. If you do, roll to die at the end of the act and sustain damage equal to the result. Of course, if you're less lucky, you wind up like me, and the mutations aren't what get you. It's like a once-in-a-generation stroke of bad luck, but, you heard of the Whisper? She, like, pokes her head around the corner. You shake your head. Again, no. Well, whatever's inside that moon, thing that's bleeding everywhere, she chooses one of us to speak to every generation. And, well, the more she talks, the more of yourself you lose. Eventually, I'm gonna be almost identical to those undead out there, no offense. She sits down. You become a vessel for whatever that thing is. Go mindless and usually wind up slaughtered by, well, the rest of the Moon-Blooded. So I always got that crawling around in the back of my head. She sits down next to the axe. So I'm gonna ask that question again. I'm the type that has a significant risk of losing control. So I gotta ask you, which one of the 2 of us is taking this axe? 1 or 2? You or her? You let it sit for a moment. Nod, and hold your hand out. Okay. Undead wielding the undead killing axe. She hands it over and you take it and level it in your palm. And I ask the question. Hey friends. Which of our attributes is wielding this weapon? We can give it to any one of them. I'm banning lore from this because we just fought hard for lore's sword and shield. So, choose. Are we choosing Beast of God, Fool's Hope, or are we choosing our new friend? Yellow would keep the knuckles, yes. Give the dumbass a dumb axe. Okay, this is hysterical. I'm making an executive decision. In this case, you can fix this post-session if you hate it. The one who will wield the axe is Beast of God and Wandering Stray. I add it to both of their kits. Okay, so we're gonna be, that means that our friend Fool's Hope is going to be rocking the Knuckle Claws, and Beast of God is going to be wielding Sunspot, as well as Wandering Stray. A thought occurs in the back of your mind. Right, I wanted to ask. I asked that watercaster to come down with us. Have you, seen him around? You worry for a moment. You remember his body language, you remember the way that he was acting around the Solar Night, and now that you've heard the stakes of this contest, you think you understand a little bit better. But she sort of smiles. Oh, did you know that guy? You sort of shrug. Well, oh, this is so embarrassing. I might have chopped him into pieces. There's a split moment as that realization spreads through the house. Oh, okay. I mean, he was still moving. Watercasters are kind of crazy like that. Yeah, if I had to guess, he probably won't be too thrilled to see me. If he can see anything at all at this point. Yeah, no, my bad. She raises one hand semi-apologetically. Of course. Fine. I'll go check on him, I suppose. Beast of God takes command of the situation. Yeah, do that. In the post-fight, I need to calm down for a little bit longer, or else, I might, well, she points to her eye. Might turn, so you go on ahead. Tell him, I'm sorry, or whatever you think will make him less mad at me. You nod. Exit the building. Heading. God, into the last map of the bog first. You guys are so good at skipping into this bog specifically and not engaging with the miserable mechanic of this place. You walk outside and notice that this segment of the bog is actually somewhat clear of all of the muck. This small island seems to rise up slightly onto a hill, and a nice house sits on the far end. The one that you just disentangled yourself from. You start to walk forwards, and you see something's still twitching. No, that can't be right. She said it was dead. She said she took the axe from it, almost subconsciously. You raise the same axe that you've been wielding and prepare to deal with the creature. You take one step forwards and you notice that the shifting, it's not actually from the creature itself. Instead, something is trapped beneath its body. This is likely a problem for someone else to deal with. Almost immediately overpowered. No, we're getting in there. She did a number on this thing. It's covered in viscera. Why would we even bother? I mean, there's something interesting under there, right? And plus, she said that you shove the body aside. The profane caster's parts were still moving. Oh, thank goodness. Thank you, my savior. To whom do I have the I can't see who it is. Please tip my basket in your direction. You take a step forwards and tip the basket towards you. And, plain as day, there's a severed head, actually. Most interestingly, it seems that they are adorned with long fins and gills that press, into the sides of their, well, neck stump. Thank you. If I can ask for a second favor. The water here is so impure. I've been barely able to sustain myself on the muck. If you could, please. I can hear the river burbling nearby. Place me within the water. You sigh. You pick up the basket with the severed head in it. Carry it. And again. Okay, this leads to a funny outcome. The different voices all chime to life, as each has a suggestion of what to do in this exact moment. Fool's Hope, immediately speaking up, is like, yeah, of course, let's take him over to the water. He's probably like us, with just a little bit good old pure H2O, he'll be back on his feet. Moving again. I mean, not his feet, because his feet are gone, but, you know. I actually tend to agree. I'm interested in what happens seeing another individual with our unique condition. Sustenance off of water alone is fascinating, and maybe we could figure out something. Pull the head out and punt it into the distance. Well, thankfully, we have a new voice here, and you rolled lowest, so why don't we pull the head out and punt it into the distance? God damn it. Here are your choices. Help? Actually, it's really just 1 and 2. Help or punt? I adore this. In your moment of decision, you think about it hard. You think about how satisfying it would be to allow this fish-like object to roll free from the barrel, how easy it would be to connect with the front of your boot, to send it flying over the tree line. In fact, based on your own assessments. If you kicked it right now, you'd probably do a pretty good job of it. It wouldn't be phenomenal, but at the same time, man, would it be satisfying. Do you think if we hit it hard enough, we could send it back flying into the Solar Knights area? Only one way to find out. Well, good news, we're not. You pick up the bucket and start to walk it over towards the river. You place it inside and sort of squat on the riverside, allowing the head to almost buoy in the river water, bouncing lightly. Oh, thank God. That is wonderful. Oh. Oh, crystal beneath. Oh. You feel like you might have just saved this poor fish's life. So, can I ask? What exactly are you doing here? Right, yes, of course. You place the bucket on the side of the river and allow it to sit. I was informed by a traveling scholar of this little ritual competition. I am focused, as always, in the arts of comprehending the truer nature of the deep water, and in doing so, understanding the profound secrets of the world. Do you know, before land existed, there was ocean, and in the ocean, we can learn the origin of everything. You sit on the shore and pull out your own deep world meteor glass. Oh, hold on. Splash, splash, splash. The fish moves slightly closer to you. Is that is a segment of the Grand Crystal. Where did you find that? Are you... Splashes back in the other direction. Are you a pirate? Or some other rogue? You think about it hard, based on current realizations. Her association with the Mallory crime syndicate does likely qualify you as some sort of rogue. Yet at the same time, probably not. You announce aloud. At least, not anymore. This thing saved my life during the war. It came to you as some form of providence. Well, I wouldn't say providence. It's not like a god sent in my direction. No, of course not. Crystalline entity is no god. That is why it is worthy of worship. Splash, splash, splash. Well, if you were one of the chosen, then I had no right to complain. I too was actually chosen for my unique role. I am one of the few sent to study abroad to learn the secrets of the world and to bring them back to my people that live beneath the ocean depths. I was hoping to discover some secret to the severance of mortality. Crystal grows endlessly and isn't immortal in its own right. But it seems my acts have brought me no closer to comprehending the truer nature of the deep crystal and has instead allowed me to act out advanced principles of meditation in real time. You turn and look over at the severed head. Advanced principles of meditation? Yes! The divine casting off of different, well, not divine, the self-study of casting away one's own body into segmentations. To throw away an arm is to allow the arm of the world to operate through you, to allow one to be divested of their weaker organs of flesh, allows one to reflect with utter clarity with the organ of the mind. It's, I panicked. I was being cut to pieces, and I just more or less allowed it to happen, and then pretended to be very, very dead. I'm going to link the, caster. The caster of Profane Erodin's, Division of the Body gift. A point of both religious and reflective sincerity, sages of the earlier ages would divest themselves of limbs in pursuit of the ocean's deeper magics. A form of personal meditation, this technique is not meant to be used in battle, as it leaves one quite vulnerable. Functionally, this allows it so, whenever you take a wound, you can instead throw away a body part. You can keep acting as if that dice wasn't wounded, but you cannot heal that wound until you regain that severed body part. With every subsequent wound, you must sever another body part. You look down at the head. You can tell that this person is fully wounded and likely would die in a single hit. So, Fellow follower of the deep world, may I ask for a favor? Can you help put me back together? This position is quite embarrassing. I'm going to. Oh, drop. Roll. Ooh, that's fun. Option 1. Yeah, but make it worth my while. Why don't you teach me how to do what you're doing right now? No. And? Alright, but on one condition. No more violence against the other contestants. We're going to figure out the truth of this situation together, alright? These are your choices. Lore wins out. And you state to the being in the basket. Alright, but no more violence against the other contestants. I'm starting to see that you were all called here for a reason, and I think we have every reason to be suspicious of that motivation. The fact that everybody here is desperate to sever their mortality, whatever that means for some reason, desperate enough to kill, means that you guys are rife for exploitation. Let's figure out the truth of what's actually happening behind all this before we take any rash action. I don't want you turning on the other competitors. That a deal? Of course. I see that you caught my wariness of the solar night earlier. Where I'm from, the paladins of the Sangha Empire are, let's say, not particularly welcomed. Well, we aren't in the Sangha Empire right now, so you heft up the bucket and place it on your back. New ally obtained! Tell me, can you still use magic while in that state? Absolute. Well, yes, I can actually. I can focus it in my mouth. You'd need to aim me. Can do. You've gained a unique ability. The caster of Profane Erodin can still fire out those water beams that you were seeing earlier. However, he needs to be picked up and lifted by the scalp, aimed, and then fired like a gun. You start to work your way back over as... She makes her way outside. Oh. Isn't that kind of grim? You speak up. She points at the barrel on your back. Using a basket that used to be like a guy's hat? Like, if you needed a backpack, why didn't you just tell me? Excuse me, I am still very much alive in here. Whoa. Hold on, let me see. She rushes around back. Keep away from me, moon-blooded individual. Huh? I saw how badly you were biting that thing. I don't want you to see the vision of my, frankly, delicious-looking blood and go utterly feral. She takes a step backwards. I'd be borderline offended, but to be honest, your blood does actually look pretty delicious. It's like almost pink like wine or something. It's kind of unreal. Is that... You were kind of bleeding the same. Why did both of you have that condition? It is a gift from the crystal beneath. Our blood runs as fine as wine, etc., etc. Oh, okay. Well, regardless, what's your plan? I'm gonna help find his body parts. Cool. They're gonna be spread out through the swamp. You want help with that? She stares at you. And you have a moment of consideration. You saw how effective her jumping ability was. You can, 1, send her back up the cliff face to go reconvene with the Solar Knight, or 2, bring her with on body quest. Phew, ha! Lovely. Oh my god, yeah, no, good suggestion, a plank of wood. Yeah, I'll throw that in for sure. Okay, decision made. You look over at her. She offered to come with you. Her posture continues to be lax. You can tell she'd be a powerful fighter, but at the same time, your goal isn't just to survive this. It's to find the truth about whatever's happening. So, it's situations like these that you should solidify your allies and make sure they're safe. If the man on your back is coming with you, it makes sense to make sure that your other ally is, well, joined with the ally in front of you. You point over to the cliff face. Do you think you could jump up that? Oh, yeah, easily. Go up there and reconvene with the Solar Knight. Tell her where we are, and if you can help her down, I think it'd be most useful if we all got together and worked together on this. She stops, turns back. You're asking me to work with a paladin? Usually, they hunt us down and execute us like monsters. But she almost looks at you. Now is the time to try to be persuasive. Again, someone other than me handle it. Don't worry, I got this. Wandering Stray cutting to the front of the pack instantly. Speaks up. Well, she seems to have her own reasons for not siding with normal paladin doctrine. And she's in this area just the same. If we're all getting tricked, we're getting tricked together. So, even if she takes a swing at you, you could probably just dodge out of the way, right? You're charismatic. You won me over. You could probably win her over, too. The Moonblotted pauses. It's like, I won you over? Pointing to self. We're not fighting now, right? Guess not. She folds her hands. Okay, yeah, I'll dodge around until I guess I can get a word in. Make sure that she isn't gonna smite my head in or something. Can do. Oh, by the way, yeah? Can you teach me to jump like that? She seems genuinely, like, invested in that statement. Yeah, you want to give it a few goes? Oh, yeah, absolutely. I remember who's on your back right now. You move over, and you're gonna get jumping lessons. She's going to make her way to the bottom of the waterfall, and she is going to roll to do, complex, add 2d6 to the effect. She gets this bonus. She rolls bad, but still, boom, boom. All those bonus dice really paying off as she starts to jump over the side. Okay, we're only going to go halfway on, man. Don't worry about it. Okay. You will roll to do, and add a 1d6 bonus for her effort in supporting you. Oh my god! Good call to do this, actually. It's not the same motions as hers. You notice her coiling her all the muscles in her legs and almost flinging herself forward like a spring. In your case, like a beast, you leap and just attach to the side of the wall. And almost chasing her down, she's jumping off of each face. You throw yourself forwards and dig your claws in and start to make yourself make your way halfway up the waterfall. She sticks her spear in the side and is like, whoa, okay, that's incredible. You can move like that in steel? Okay, show me. Let's race the last little bit up. You feel something almost twitch out and emerge from behind her eye. She's getting excited. You can feel an almost... Is it bloodlust? Ferocity starts to beam forwards from behind your eyes, but just the same. You also are locked into something that feels rather unusual, so you will roll first with the 1d6 bonus. 19? And she will roll. Oh my god. Okay. You start to leap, and the two of you almost cross paths. As you jump, she crosses over this way, is like, where the hell did a knight learn to move like that? She hangs off of her spear here and is like, I thought there was something interesting about the way you moved. Your armor. You say it's steel and it's presented as steel, but it moves as naturally as flesh. Hey, knight, what the hell are you, actually? Over here, you reach the top, having won your little race, and pause and go, huh, beats me? And allow yourself to fall, splashing into the water again. You again. Splash! Slide away. From her perspective, she watches you go, leaps up, and lands next to the Solar Knight. For you, you land in the water, and a brief repeat of what happened before occurs again as you are washed up over here. And... Sir Knight. Mixed Knight. Excuse me. Yeah? What's up? Why did we do that? I thought it looked cool. Yeah. Was it? It was certainly impressive. But at the same time, we are now nearly dead again. Thrown in with me, okay. Well, good news. I think one of my body parts is around here. Why don't we take a look around? Okay. Time to look. You start to scour the area, and before too long, you actually do manage to succeed. It takes you a few moments, and your active regeneration will put you back up over here. You manage to come back with a severed arm. Oh, incredible! You actually managed to find one of them. Yep. Oh, everything hurts, but things are looking up. You throw an arm in the basket and it sticks up over the side. Well, that's not exactly helpful without the torso. Just bring me more of them. Okay. Hey. Yes. Do you think that impressed her? Almost certainly. Nice. You start to jog your way deeper into the swamp. And I have a few things to reveal. You guys are gonna love this. Oh my god! Everyone who's saying Blue the Flask, you are so smart. Yes, you get a flask. You are... Thank you. Thank you. Okay. You find your way to a somewhat familiar area. You find yourself in the main body of the swamp again. As you sort of squelch. You squelch your way forwards. Allow me to copy and paste something. I've got a rule to show you all. Almost a heavy sensation rests on you as you work your way deeper into the swamp, and you feel a taste almost rise to the surface of your mouth. It's familiar. It almost feels like the cup of tea you drank that day, the one that slowly sapped your energy until you arrived in this land, collapsed. You look around and you see the white lily flowers, a remnant or a reminder of the final things that your eyes saw before fading away. Bro? How is it going? You pause, and that phrase almost snaps you out of it in a moment. Bro? Yes, we are brothers. We follow the same path, the path of the crystal. You seem to be lost in thought here. He is unaware of our situation. I doubt that any amount of clarity that we could provide could properly explain it, though. I think if there's anyone that could probably understand alternate life sedates, it's probably the severed head of a fish in a bucket. Yeah, I'd say why not tell him. Okay, guys. It's time. You gonna tell the caster? Your brethren? About your unique status as an existence? Or are you gonna keep it to yourself? You gonna tell them you're quadruple currently? Yes or no? One is yes, two is no. I should super clarify. One's yes. Okay. We're being honest with people today. Okay. Delete. Love to see it. I regenerate more of your health because you are near water. You sort of like pick up the bucket and place it in front of you. Well, long story short, you explain your role as not only an undead in this land, you briefly explain everything that you realized in the cottage down the way, but furthermore add a detail or two that not even the Moonblood had heard of. It is like there are currently 4 existence, joined at the hip. We attempt to converse with each other and control our actions, but we don't necessarily always agree on what those should be. In fact, a lot of times we're really at odds. But at the same time, I think we're all good friends. That is debatable. I think I understand. If I were to apply a personal lesson from where I was from, you've attained a sort of plurality of the self. That is something that is neither here nor there. It is simply a condition of the mind, a condition of the being. I think I could provide you with a, I suppose, disciplined interpretation of what I believe is happening. Yet just the same, if it arose in this land, it likely has nothing to do with the profane magics that I study. Quite fascinating. Well, if I was going to suppose, he places himself. He is basically the best way to describe it is, right now, it's almost like he's a miniature mermaid. He has a hand attached to the stump of a neck that wiggles slightly and allows him to boost the corners of his eyes up over the side of the basket. He makes eye contact with you and he's like, I believe it has something to do with your unique status as an undead in this land. We have, of course, undead scattered throughout the sulfuric lamina, but throughout the oceans, none of them have been able to speak or arrange coherent thought. Usually, they are the puppets of necromancers. If you have autonomy or free will, that makes you a unique being to begin with. Perhaps, in obtaining your freedom, you have freed more than was traditionally expected. Perhaps you are a multitude of souls in the same body, or no, we are not. This is all me. This is all you. Your vote at the beginning of the game has decided something rather unique about the nature of this undead. Keep it in mind. Yes, this all comes from within me. Interesting. So the puzzle deepens then. In that case, you might be better off asking the Moonblooded about your unique condition. From what I understand, she bears the title of Whispered. A rather grisly fate. But just the same. It might be worth seeking her insight. I will keep this in mind. Thank you. Of course. Anything from my bro. Beast of God sighs slightly. However, Fool's Hope almost flourishes. The praise being heaped on them. This is the unique advantage you gain from taking the meteor glass. The caster of Profane Aradin, who is normally a rather self-focused, religious sort of individual, views you as a peer and follower of the same sort of path. As a result, you have a stalwart ally. A shame about the state of his body, however. And you step into the bog. It has been long enough. You start to part the water. And as you do, that sensation deepens. Ugh. What is this? You shiver again. Bro, you're losing it again. It's fine, it's fine. What is this? You feel almost poison start to work its way through your veins again. And I post the thing we have all been dreading. The setting for the pissy, shitty poison bog. You feel the sick swamp water somehow dig through your steel boots. Poison swamps were not common on the Deep Earth Lamina, and as a result, you are not particularly familiar with their ilk. Still, a great feeling of dread swims through your gut as you part the muck with a squelch. Roll to die for the setting, using the result to determine its behavior. Red, poison. Poison grants 1d3 stacks until it reaches a maximum of 9. When it reaches 9, take 4d6 damage and reduce the number of stacks by 1. Then wait 1d6 minutes, reduce the number of stacks by 1 again, and deal 4d6 damage again. Repeat this until the number of stacks reaches 0. You can tell, with your current hit points, if you become poisoned, this will kill you. Unless you, of course, submerge yourself in some pure H2O. So, I roll for the pissy, shitty poison swamp the second you put your boot into it. The end result is shock! Poison! You are yellow, which gives you a moment to clash against that. Wait, no, you're purple. Oops, I just swapped it over to yellow. Nope, you don't get shit. You get 1d3 poison. 2 stacks of poison build up as you feel the swamp water start to sicken you, and you start to trudge onwards. You roll. And, of course, this guy does a great job of being like, hey, wait a sec. You rush over, you dig around, and you find another arm. You pull it out, and you stick it in the caster's basket. That's yet another attribute regained. Ooh. Yeah. Zhao says, good thing I learned to jump. You managed to leap across, and I'll give you that one for free. Now you've got an important decision. You can 1. Continue to explore the swamp, looking for other body parts. Wait, no, you rolled a 19. I'll give you, there are no more body parts on this map. You can roll to, you can continue to plumb the swamp regardless for goodies. You can cut ahead to where the necromancer was, or, based on what the profane caster has told you, likely more of his body parts lie deeper in the swamp. Which direction do you head? 1, 2, or 3? Search, necromancer, or body parts? Yeah, you gotta move. You gotta move. You guys decide. No necromancer right now. No more searching. You are going to carry on. You're gonna find more of your boy, and you're gonna travel deeper into the swamp. Okay. Next area of the swamp down here. You move into a slight clearing, and again, we will roll to do. That is not enough. You begin to search and search and search for more of the body, but in doing so, you wind up finding nothing and triggering. Nope, I dropped this. I flip a coin. If you get blue instead of yellow, you will not be poisoned this time. You get blue. Okay. In this case, you're wandering around, and the caster on your back's like, if we could find. I know it's around here somewhere. I could feel one of my legs kicking something. It's just, I don't know where it is exactly. I'm sorry. And you're like, no, it's fine, it's fine. And then I rolled the swamp effect, and you get blue. Roll a 1d20 for wildlife. On a 10 or lower, you've had it too good for too long. On a 19 plus, you may consult the wisdom of the frog. You've had it too good for too long. You feel something bearing down on your position as you almost square yourself up and you get yourself ready. You don't know from where it's coming in the swamp, but it starts to separate the swamp water, and you try to place yourself, and in this moment, Wandering Stray is going to attempt to leap whatever is coming at him. That's a crit 1, okay. Okay, you have indeed had it too good for too long. Okay, chat. I'm so sorry about everything that's gonna happen. You leap into the air. You land on this column back here, and almost like assume a four-legged posture. Wildly, you crawl your way to the front of the column and position yourself and leap as whatever presence bears down on your position. Your senses scream that it should be some sort of boar or otherwise, but instead, you're met by another wild animal, and with a clang, you clash in midair as a figure in a hood sweeps a blade directly at your head. Roll the die, and they are going to roll to do. You think that you have come out ahead of them, and then the slice travels past, and you feel something bear down into your flesh. More poison. You touch down in the swamp as you realize the dagger that they just cut you with is laced in a deadly brew. They place themselves on top of the log, and it's like, oh, that's where you are. Okay. Interesting. Well, if I leave you here long enough, it seems like nature will finish the job. They position themselves, drawing up to their full height on this column. Their form is thin and lithe. For some reason, you know something about them as you pick yourself back up. Bro, are you okay? You look at their expression, and you feel a strange sense of kinship. You can tell, almost subconsciously, this thing is an undead too. And as you realize this, I ask you guys a question. Chat, they just cut you with their red stat. What is its name? This is very important. Give me a vote. 1, crimes. 2, day by day. 3, Nash and burn. Perfect. Okay, lovely. I've got my result. You steady yourself. Unsheath the axe, let it hang as you watch it ignite with holy light as both you and they cause it to begin emitting a powerful energy. You pause there as they roll backwards, unclip something from their side, and swing it down. You notice the muzzle of something pointed directly at you. You can tell that gun, the gun that they carry now, is the gun that you could have selected at the beginning of the game. They fire a shot as you dodge to the side. They leap and land amidst the bushes, and you see a flare of light as machine-like gears flare to life. I post grease wheel amber fluid, the gift that you could have taken at the start of the game, as with a loud thunk, they disappear behind a layer of brush. You level your axe, and it begins to burn more brightly, your eyes scanning the horizon. And with a roar, they leap on you once again. Dog versus cat. And this is where we're going to take our first break. I'm gonna go get please, dear friends, if you would take over for a short period of time. I need to rest my voice.
Yeah, hello chat, and hello also YouTube bot who will be watching this. If you want to participate in the polls that you saw at the beginning in those results, make sure to join the Discord, which you'll find the link down below. Jay posts the straw polls throughout the week daily, and then only tallies the poll like before stream. So you can have a choice that matters, and if you support the Patreon, which you'll also find, we also put a poll in there, so you basically get double the votes for supporting us in this great show. But yeah, stuff's going good. I fucking... Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
Are you having fun? Are you having fun?
I love the rival.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're very good.
Poison.
It's so fun to see what could have been us.
Yeah.
How's everyone enjoying being a player today?
Yeah. I killed the rival.
I love purple. I love that while every other character is some flavor of batshit.
Mm-hmm.
Only normal people in this swamp.
Only normal people in the shitty pissy swamp.
I miss
It's
Solar
a
Knight.
swamp.
I miss her.
I
miss my wife Tails.
I miss
Miss
my
my
wife
wife,
Tails.
What?
Still rivals gun for yellow. That is something you could probably do if you decided to beat the crap out of them. Yeah.
Hey, don't you guys have a steal ability?
Gun.
Can't you still? Can't yellow steal? Isn't that like an ability they have?
The thing they got from the guy in the door, the like foot pads. I think they might. I don't know. If you survive. Oh yeah, that's true as well. You're kind of getting the shit rocked right now. Shitty pissy poison swamp, and then you know.
Yeah, it's not looking great right this moment.
Not the Mellory foot pads. Yeah. Steal the gun.
Purple voice. We can handle it.
Look, chat. Just remember, you can post the yellow emote and tell Jay to go steal the gun. and it might affect things. So you have
Maybe.
the
You never
power.
know.
You have the power
You never
potentially.
know.
You never know.
You have the ability to try.
You have the ability.
Yeah.
We gotta drink H2O. I mean, hey man,
Pure H2O.
make friends. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Rule
here's the
of
thing.
three
If
is hydrate.
steal their gun, then it will be easier to make friends with them because they cannot shoot you anymore.
I mean, they'll still have that poison knife.
Steal the knife.
Or
This is how you make
consider,
friends. You periodically steal everything they can use to harm you.
or steal
This
their
is how I
heart,
made
chat.
friends in grade school.
Steal
Steal
their
their
heart.
Steal their heart. Kind
Steal their heart.
of cat rogue and a dog knight truly fall in love in this battlefield, chat.
I'm back.
I'm gonna grab some water. Real quick.
Of blue
Yeah.
and pissy shitty swamp.
Pissy shitty dude, I made
I
that
thought
setting.
you were gonna. I thought you were gonna rename it before the
No.
session.
Under no circumstances. I've been watching Bryn play Kingsfield and I'm like, no, I know what this is called.
Pissy shitty swamp.
I was talking to Brett. I was like, "Don't we have poison immunity? Like, didn't we get a gift for poison immunity at the beginning of the session?" And Brett goes, "That was in Kingsfield." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "This shouldn't be a problem. Like, we literally have a gift for poison immunity. I remember getting it." And then I was like, "That was me getting it in Kingsfield yesterday."
I'm gonna be real, guys. This is looking kind of bleak as far as our odds for survival go. Like, I designed this fight so that you could get Majimas everywhere to everywhere. Not in the middle of pissy shitty swamp.
Ooh.
We're at half stacks of poison. The fight hasn't even started yet. I'm gonna need you all, and I'm gonna be looking at chat this time. I'm gonna need you all to be so clever. We drink the flask. That is a free action. You can do that.
Yay, Sippy!
Get that
You can
pure
take a sippy.
H2O.
No, we gave that to the dog skull dinosaur.
Yeah, we didn't get to go get more of it because the fucking bag man was there.
The bagman.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
We can jump out of here. I'm glad that Wandering Stray's single, utterly chill brain cell has infected you. It's like, yeah, man, let's just jump. It'll be easy. Use your words. Use sacred flames with the axe. Oh, that's sick.
Like, jumping's how you get anti-aired, homie. He got
They
a
do have a
gun.
He just gets shot out of sky.
We come all the way back around to steal the gun.
Does the body parts count as a corpse piece? Okay, bro, I need you to make the ultimate sacrifice. I'm about to fucking crunch your arms like they're Capri Suns.
Takes arm, crushes it on forehead.
Well, wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
If it's a corpse,
Yeah.
then can we just blow them up?
Oh, yeah. No, just hit him with a good old corpse explosion.
Oh, we love corpse explosion.
We do love corpse explosion.
We just need to back the fuck up first, because we are also a corpse.
Also, similarly, an
it's
issue.
It's like in The Man Who Erased His Name. Just fucking explode both of you.
Lethbridge Gaming.
Lethbridge Gaming.
Listen, all I'm saying is, if we hit the axe attack, we'll take care of them. We'll also be taken care of, but we'll take care of them.
Listen, chat, this is how you bond with the rival. You bond over mutual explosion.
Oh my god, I'm so hyped, guys. Like, run to get our allies, all valid options. Okay. I'm gonna take this fight very, very carefully because it's only gonna last a few turns. Like, this is not gonna be a long fight. We're gonna know if we won or lost almost instantly. Our bro will save us.
Our bro's gonna get dunked in the poison water when our body hits the ground and die.
Yeah, we gotta protect bro.
Fall
Listen,
forward.
here's the
Fall
strat.
Forward.
Here's the strat. Punt the bro towards your allies so that when you get killed by the rifle, they can show up and save you.
Oh my god, my last ham-on punts the bro.
He dies instantly upon landing.
Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Let's
Hey,
let's
good
carry on
luck.
with this. Thank you guys. Okay. So. Oh god, everyone. Let's get back into it. You are face to face with this individual, who I would like to now reveal their roll to die. Let me just quickly mark stuff out for them. Their roll to die. You will notice something. All of their stat bonuses are +2. Yes, they did pick the stat line that you didn't. So, you guys square up, and it's gonna be them versus you. Of course you're dead even. Because, you know, this is the way we live our lives. You are currently on purple. This will matter. And you have Sunspot equipped. +2, +3 to your roll to die. You do get to go first, actually. Sunspot barely pushing you into the lead. Thanks to the... Sunspot gives a +3. It technically is giving you a +4 because I need to tick up the aura. So, we are going to, off of this roll to die, swap into yellow, and follow yellow's point of view. Now, chat, I'm asking you for suggestions at this point. This is a rarity. I'll do it sometimes. What's the plan? Attempt to steal. Steal a gun. Steal a gun. Okay. Oh, 2 HP from Deep Sea. You're right. You're right. You're right. This is important to keep track of. +2. Try to convince not to kill. Steal. I'm stealing a lot of steal the gun. Going in for the steal is risky, but I think it's worth it. We get a +2 thanks to our good old knuckle claws. Okay. So you rush in, crossing the swamp water and almost parting it away. Steal and run is mostly what I see. You can use some of your movement to get here. You rush up to them. You're gonna roll to do. Oh my fucking god. Okay. Okay. You rush forwards, almost like unexpectedly. The oh my god. You guys are smart. The head bouncing around in your basket like, bro, you rush forwards. Leap, jump, raise one of your fists so they instinctively block, and when they do, you grab the gun that's sort of slung loose from their cape, and just... sprint your way up here. Okay, chat, I'm gonna ask an important question. Are we gonna lock out all of our dice to get out of the swamp? Or, that'll lock out 1 dice. Are we gonna lock out our 1 dice to get out of the swamp or end our turn here? 2 is ending our turn here. 1 is get out of the swamp. Vote fast. I add rifle to your character sheet. Hit the bricks. One and heal? Okay. In that case, you'll make it here. They will get 1 action before you leave the map. I will lock out one of your dice. We are going to lock whatever rolls lowest. We lock Beast of God. You make it here while sprinting, and I do not take the setting on you because you have technically made it to shore, which is a good thing. You have left the pissy shitty swamp for now. Back here. They are going to charge. And seeing as how you have taken their gun, they're going to post something. Closing note. You look at the closing note, this dagger that they're holding in their hand, and you realize this is a paired weapon with the axe you carry. While it seems like you and your squad dealt with the bagman, killing one of the bosses, they too are carrying a boss weapon on them. You can also tell getting to shore was probably very smart. The effects of this weapon allow you to immobilize the target. With sacrifice at the altar, you also get a bonus to immobilize targets. It seems like their plan was to lock you down in the swamp and simply let you die to the poison. But you start to rush away, and let me... they get the free attack on their move action. They're going to roll to do. That is a 10. You roll your roll to die. And you manage to deflect the attack, nice and easy. As, you manage to knock the knife away as they continue to close in on your location. And then they get their normal action. They are going to use... God, this would have been so nasty in the swamp. Good call, guys. Fake out triplicate. Once per act, split into 3 and perform a focused attack from multiple positions. Your target gains an attack which can be performed immediately against your triplicated self. Choose which of your bodies is the real you. If your target manages to attack the real you, even if they miss, the attack is prevented. If they do not, attack 3 times immediately. 3 of them pop out, and each carries with them a very different energy. Their form almost seems to blur and stretch in all directions around you. And they start to almost like solidify in a triangle formation around you. You get a moment to guess at each of them, which potentially could be the source of this attack. Now, chat, this is going to come down to careful character analysis based on a character that you met mere moments ago. They have unique habits, tells, that give them away. You do not know any of them yet, so, good luck. We are going to describe each of them in turn. This one, low right. Stalked ahead almost in an instant. They appeared out of the nothingness and carefully leveled the dagger in their hand. They keep it poised towards you, almost securing the blade with their other hand. Their stance seems uncertain, like they need to make sure to absolutely guide the blade towards its destination. This one over here carries an almost perfect duplicate of closing note. They toss it, catching it freely in their hand. They move with such utter confidence and self-assuredness that you can tell, should they throw the blade, it would be as light as air, slicing through you. The one in back hides the blade. You can't see it, you can't see their hands. They use their cloak to tactically obscure their body, instead choosing a more subtle approach that you can't fully recognize. Okay, the one that lacks confidence, the one that has confidence, or the one that's a little trickster. Oh yes, unlock bread, thank you. And you get a free attack. So I've got bad news for everybody that's saying corpse explosion. Red was the locked out dice. So we cannot corpse explode right now. Though that is a brilliant idea. Okay. I'm seeing. Okay. What about the water, bro? Okay. Water bro! Water bro! Okay, okay. Okay, so you have a chance to attack immediately. You are on yellow. Water bro, please. Okay. How about this? This'll be a double or nothing. You can pull Water Bro out because Water Bro can be held in one hand. You have the knuckle claws on this character, so rules-wise, this'll function. You are going to reach back into the basket, grab Water Bro. He is going to charge. He does not have his focusing staff, though he is near water. If he does not roll high enough on roll to die, he will not be able to fire a beam. Furthermore, you will be able to target one of them, and I'm going to go with 2, since it seems to be the one that was the most voted, and then 3 was the next most voted. Water Bro will fire at 3. So this is how we're gonna do it. We go Caster of Profane Erodin. Bro, I am begging you, please roll good. You need to beat a 10. Okay. Thank fucking Christ. You will get your Water Bro attack in this act. You see the attack come out, and using this free your free attack that it grants you, you almost instinctively act. You grab the head, whoa, whirl around, moving forwards. You swing your fist at this one's jaw and attempt to swing up and over. And you connect, but it fades away into nothingness. And you whirl the head around, aim it over here, and fire. The beam travels straight forwards, darting at this target, and it flies over to them, connects them in the chest, and BOOM! They're sent flying backwards, the attack being prevented. You sprint your way off the map. Okay. Set up the next map. You managed to... I send you back to the wrong map. Oops. You manage to get some distance between yourself and your pursuer. You have a split second to act and react. You place your bro back in the container on your back. Add this. I tick your poison down by 1. I tick your undead... Oh, your undead aura is not ticking up because you are not in either of the stances that has it. And I roll to die to determine what the next course of action is. Oh, we are... Oh. Okay. 2d6. Fool's Hope darts to the side, throws themselves in the lily plants, and hides. They need to beat a 25 with a roll to do in order to notice you. They rush into the area. Move over here. Roll to die. Go up to this. Roll to do complex. +2. And they barely don't beat it. You see them like a shadow dart down the path, vanishing into the distance. You relax. Feel the poison starting to fade from your body. And as your act grows less pissed off, your wounds heal. You just stay there. Okay. Good work. I don't know what to do at this point exactly. Because one of my body parts was certainly back there. It just, I didn't realize that something like that would be guarding it. If it's any consolation, I think one of them is actually nearby. So why don't we focus on the one that's closer to us while we wait for backup? You've got a decision to make, chat. One of your bro's body parts is around you in the current area, for sure. 2 will explore this area. 1 is return to the bog you just left. They'll never expect me to go back this way. And then 3 is, I'll roll dice to get a third option. See what we got. Ooh. Ooh, Beast of God actually has an interesting, suggestion. We need to find our way back to our allies. If we exploit safety in numbers, particularly in this case, I don't believe that that thing will be able to get the drop on us again. So, option 3, go and try to find your allies. Option 2, look for the body part here. Option 1, go back to the swamp. What direction are we headed? Okay. Okay, I know how to do this. See, this is a great prompt. Because, you have a realization that, Beast of God makes a very good point. It would probably be smarter to head back. However, there is a realization that you don't 100% know the way back. So, you start to jog back in this direction, make it to water, and dunk yourself in it. Just splash! Oh, thank goodness. The mermaid, comprised of 2 arms and a neck stump, floats by you. A little motor propelling him around you in circles. You faceplant. You're gonna roll to recover and get yourself back up. That went really bad really fast, but you managed to turn the situation around and splash. Wait a second, you throw it off on the shore. Thank goodness. These Mallory firearms are actually a little more finely made than to die to a little bit of water. I post the rifle gift that you stole. Good job! You now have all 3 starter weapons. Okay, chat. It's time to decide. Actually, no, we're same as Sword and Shield. You're gonna decide rifle during the week off. So wait on that. We're gonna hold on to rifle unless we have a strategy that desperately needs it. And I reset your poison to 2. You lose all stacks of your holy explosion. But yeah, you wind up actually feeling halfway decent, and like you spend a moment by the water shore. And you just straighten up, pick up your bro, and start to move. Feeling calm and confident again before you realize again, right, we don't know where we are. Lining this area on either side, great lily plants. Again, your head starts to hurt. Bro, you okay? Yes, I'm fine. You look ahead. You see an area that feels achingly familiar. Almost from some primordial urge, you rush your way forwards and place yourself in the stone circle. For some reason, You scratch the back of your head. You get a sensation. Without a doubt, this is the location that you died. You look over to the distance. A tower dots the air. And beyond, a thin plume of smoke beyond the tree line. You slowly exhale as it all flows back to you, a bit at a time. This is as far as you made it into Vignette. This is the remnant of Krell Castle, the former home of the nobility. You look over into the marsh. It appears as if it's sunk away, likely entwining with the caverns below. You remember the report that you were supposed to submit. It seems that the castle and the caverns have become one. You quietly recollect on that report you never managed to deliver. And you sort of actually managed to put together a 3D map of the area in your head. Where you stand now are the remnants of Krell Castle. To your right, the Lily Bog. And beyond, to the north, the small township. But it seems the bog, the castle, and the township themselves are all pulled downwards into those caverns, as if a great maw attached to this place devouring it from below. The final detail contained within some far corner of your mind. You stand, bumping the basket again. The destination point of the ritual, without a doubt, is at the very base of those caverns. The solution is to continue going down, downwards and downwards into those catacombs. Well, it looks like we've got a decision in front of us. That tower seems to have, a door in it. That door leads to a trapdoor, based on what I can see. Likely it heads back down into the caverns. Similarly, that direction up there leads into a wooded area that I'm not sure about. Which way are we headed, bro? Option 1. Or option 2. Where are your friends? Two, okay. Okay. You slowly stand, shaking your head. We will not descend into the caverns right now. We were ill-prepared for some random swamp creature. I do not think we are ready for what lies down there. An extremely prudent point of view. Yes, let's carry on. Yeah, plus, if we get back together with everyone, we'll be able to explore the caverns just fine. Ultimately, we just need to worry about getting ambushed. Or, oh my god, what if they're getting ambushed? Something tells me they can handle it. Like, between the Moonblooded and the Solar Knight, they're probably fine. If we're looking for the weak link in our little party, don't say us. No, I was gonna say the guy on our back. Don't be rude. Yeah, he saved us. You hop in the water and continue on. You travel. To a familiar location. You sort of like move your way in as the stage like waves. Hello, long time no see. Is that... Who is that? Who's there? You brought somebody else here? Well, you know, are kind of in a rough situation, they're with me. For now, it's fine. They can stay at the bonfire just the same. Just, call it a special designation for their current, life state. But if you can, try to avoid bringing anyone else here. Okay? You don't know why, but it seems rather important that this bonfire be reserved as a location almost exclusively for you. Well, it would be tempting, as the safety of this place provides some shelter to the unknown areas of Vinyat. Seems like the sage is insisting. And you get the feeling that if you similarly insist on your end, this place might not stay safe for long. You quietly, sort of curtly nod. Thank you for your temporary grace. Let's see. Yeah, Blue will ask why. May I ask why? You voice it aloud as the sage, sort of tips her staff again. The ritual that's currently being conducted in this land is something that I'm attempting to observe to the best of my abilities. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose here is, but it's clear enough that a few auspicious individuals are being lured in. I'm trying to do my best to assess each of them to make sure that there isn't some sort of ulterior motive or otherwise. As a result, I'm trying to reserve this bonfire for people who desperately need the assistance first and foremost. You yourself are a strange anomaly, but if I found someone near the brink of death, I would likely bring them here as a safe intermediary point. That sort of loses its functionality if I start to allow anyone to come and go. For example, it seems like you have gotten along well with the Solar Knight, but let's say she doesn't get along with one of the others that you've encountered, like, let's say, the caster on your back. Being able to reserve this space only for the critically wounded means that they can use this as a refuge for safety. Allowing the Solar Knight to come and go, if she, say, put the caster in that space, would be a way to quickly violate the tenets of this place. It would functionally remove the base aspect of this bonfire. So, I'd ask at the very least, if someone isn't critically wounded, please don't use this place as a headquarters. She offers a half smile. It seems like, for some reason, this concept bothers her slightly. Oh, another good prompt. Lore speaks up again. Are you aware of the cat? You struggle for a good word for them. The cat. Oh, the individual with the... Yes, I have encountered them once or twice. Did you bring them here? You voice to the bonfire. No, nor did I bring you here. I simply offered refuge for somebody who was critically wounded. I don't think I'd turn them away if they wanted to take shelter here, so long as they adhere to the peaceful nature of this place. Their situation is quite similar to yours. If I may ask, what is my situation? Just quiet. I'm still trying to fully ascertain that for myself. If you want the true answer, find the necromancer that lives in these lands. You consider your little run-in with the necromancer before. You consider the sensation that it made you feel. As that thought crosses your head, you shake your head once, as if accepting that, for now, that one will have to wait until you're reunited with your allies. You sort of square up, and you start to move forwards. Obviously, water jug refilled. Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye. Your little caster whispers over. As you move back towards your allies. Down, approach. You make it over here. And I'm gonna swap us back to this. You enter this area as you can tell pretty much immediately the situation hasn't changed massively here, which actually implies a few things. Looking over at the gate, you can tell not only is it open, it's been unlocked. You can tell they probably went down in that direction. This group of undead has yet to be disturbed. This one still remains slain in the corner. I asked the question. I think we agree we're not going to do any fighting now, but, what path are we headed to? We going to the tower? Where it seems your allies have headed? Or are we headed towards the township where they once were? Don't worry, we'll get to the corpse explosion when we sneak by. Come on, okay. 2 for the pure H2O. Okay. So, from your position, you can tell a few things. First up, you can tell that the tower door is open from where you stand. It seems that they did leave it open behind them in case this happened. They didn't want to restrict your movements. And the other thing, you make it over here. Beast of God. With a snap of the... Wait, no. With a 6. Beast of God is gonna move over here. Pick up the corpse of the one that bothered them the most and just start walking with it under their arm. What are you doing with that? I'm sorry. Only living body parts will function to reconstitute mine. Quiet. It's insurance. You stride your way up, across the tower. Here. Where's this event? Make it here as you hear something almost separate the air as fast. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Let me just initialize something. Okay, wonderful. Something is brought down on your head hard. With a whack! The base of a blade is driven into your forehead as your vision darts forward and your head swims. You stumble over to the side as you see, in your now swimming vision, man slowly rise up, waiting, clinging to the side of the tower. He jumped down at you, ambushing you. The very location that you met him. He is going to, I am so sorry about this, activate one of his abilities. Let me print it. Character your sheets running slow. Here we go. I'm just gonna post in chat. He's gonna hit you with his poison strike. 1d3 poison. Your head spins, and then he throws a knife that just sticks into your side, and again, you build another stack of poison. He takes a step backwards, and like, looks over at you like, hey man, I asked for a simple favor. All you had to do was unlock the door and let me out. All you had to do was take the key from that solar night. All you had to do was make sure our target couldn't freely navigate this place. Aren't you one of the Mallory hounds? Aren't you supposed to listen when called? You swing? No, you don't. Beast of God is in control. Beast of God does not respond. They simply lift the body, throw it into the individual, snap their fingers, and let it burn. That'll be 9 damage, and then with an additional 1d6 with 1d6 healing. After the sneak attack, this brutal counterattack not only heals you, it sends them flying backwards, burning. They slide across the roof of the building like, what the hell? You ready yourself. Lock in your attributes. Full Soap is so ready for this shit. You duck down, raise your fists again, and get ready to fight. Face the Mallory assassin. Okay, let me get them ready. Mallory. Okay. You get an 18. You get a 21. They get a 17. Oh, you are just getting in on them. This counterattack, particularly after you've made it this far. No, absolutely not. You're gonna close in. You throw hands. They manage to backstep and avoid the attack. And they wind up here. And they whistle. And from over here. More descend on the area. You are functionally trapped in the middle of them. Start of the next act. You get ready. You roll to die. Beast of God comes out. We tick up our... we heal. Twice, actually. So that'll put us back to full. Beast of God comes out. We mark this as your axe begins to glow with Holy Fury. You prep your axe. You look at all of them. And... again, chat. You've got a decision. Beast of God desperately wants to cleave through the 3 over here. Just like, immediately jump on them. However, you can easily just target the solo one that you've already damaged quite a bit. Or you can rush off into the distance. You can try to make your way over to the undead village. Your choice. Two. Okay. 2. Also, for those that are saying I missed on the +2, I apologize. The Mallory has something that adds a +2 to the rolls to die. Factor that in, it is just neutral for the 2 of them. I just didn't factor it in for all. They all have that, by the way. They've got a buckler. Okay. Roll to die. The knight only rolls a 15. Okay. About to get jumped. This. Okay. 2, 3, 19, okay. The one in the back will get its first move. It's going to close in. And aim to stab. It is going to use... Okay. It's going to use the ability, the Lutanian Price. You have two options. And you guys get to decide. 1 block, 2 dodge. Picks up his blade and swings it down at you. Block, catch the blade and lock with it, sustaining 1d6 damage. Your next turn is forfeit. 2 dodge, attempt to dodge. Attacker gains a plus 1d6 roll and rolls 3 times, dealing damage for every success. They may use this ability once. He's going in on you. What are you gonna pick? You dodging it or blocking it? 2? Okay. He attempts to make you pay the Lutanian price and will roll 3 times. Locking in this. Yeah, okay. 1. Okay. 12. 25, 19. Okay, so we're gonna take a bit of damage. Dodge. Hit. Dodge! Oh, dear God. Okay. Yeah, we're taking it. Wait, plus 2, plus 3. Yep, we've got 1 ahead. It's functionally, we've got 1 advantage up on him. Yep. So, nice job, Jesus. Okay, that could have been really bad. That will only be 10 damage. And then, you know. Only 1 poison. Oh my god. Okay, this is going not as bad as it could. You have a split second that you can, like, catch his arm. Instead of allowing that to happen, you let the attack go through. You literally turn your back on your opponent and you rush away, taking only a single cut. Passes the turn to you. You raise your axe aloft. You're going to attempt to cleave through all of these people. You will roll to do. Roll to do. Roll to do. Okay. We'll go like this. This will matter. The order in which I do this. These ones would roll this. 9. 16. 14. Okay, that's a hit. And a 10. Okay. First guy dodges away, touching down on a nearby, like, rafter. He almost scrambles along the outside, but the remaining 2, you manage to pick your axe up and swing it through the pair of them. And you, yeah, we're gonna ignite and send them off we're sending them away. You pick up 2 additional, levels of Sunspot, bringing you closer to the detonation. You send this one into the water and send this one over there as you swing your axe around, fending them all off with a single motion. These 2 will need to work their way back up, preventing their counterattack. You only need to deal with one of them. This guy jumps up and lands next to you. And is going to close in. Rolling. This. 18. You have locked out your dice. You unlock Beast of God again, but are indeed stabbed for a grand total of 7. Minus 7. You feel the damage starting to set in, as you prep yourself for another act. Roll the die. Beast of God rolls out again. They are going to also similarly roll the die. You beat them by 1. Oh my god, okay. And the other 2 are going to spend their turns climbing back up the sides. Okay. We heal 2. Plus 2. Tick up 1. There is a hard cap on how much Holy Fury we can gather per turn. If you manage to cleave 2 more of them, you will viciously detonate. Go inside and funnel them. That's not a bad idea. Okay. Beast of God gets to go first. Man, I think they are going to actually hand the turn over to one of the ones on the ground and just prep and wait. This one is gonna, in this case, they would roll to die instead of rolling to do to conceal their plan from sight and set in action. Yeah, when they get up here, I am clobbering them and swinging through one of their friends and blowing up all of us. Their way up here. Scramble up over the side. We'll roll to do to see if they discern the plan. They do not. They do not know what's happening. They jump over up on the side of the wall, and then you reel your arm back. And wielding Sunspot. Here comes Beast of God's big fucking try. Roll to do. Oh, the try is substantial. And they get a roll to die. And a roll to die. I've got to do math. That brings us up to a +4 bonus. Or, sorry, a +5 bonus. Which versus theirs, do we have a 3 advantage on them? We do, actually. Okay. So chat, here's how it goes. You are temporarily cornered by the Malari assassins, driven back, and you lift Sunspot up above your head as you feel the fire inside of it ignite. They all stare at it, looking at this undead killing blade, and in a moment of shock, you realize something odd. The individuals in front of you are indeed undead, but a strange thing clicks in your head. While you are an undead that is many, the way that they're all moving, it's identical to this one over here. This undead, the one that you are staring at in front of you, is many that are one. A single consciousness almost moves through them as if guiding them. This occurs primarily to Lore, who speaks up and provides you with a helpful explanation. But for Beast of God, this provides only a singular point of wondrous insight. Then they will all burn the same as me. As this one crawls their way up over the wall, you wheel the axe around, spike it through this one that barely cleared the edge, and bring it down with an executioner's smash directly into the forehead of this undead. And at that moment, Sunspot's glorious halo explodes outwards, hitting you, barely, this one barely escapes, as in a glorious peal of light, all of you take 39 damage and are knocked back 39 spaces. So the question is, chat, what direction are we headed? Are we going down? Are we going left over the tower? Or are we going up towards the village? The choice is yours. The pure H2O. Okay, okay. You violently detonate yourself and fly 39 spell. Hold on, I gotta figure out how many on this map this is. This is very important, okay? 39 squares puts you, holy shit. That would drop you. Here. I probably need a ping. You simply fly up and over, clearing every last one of them as you don't even see what happens to the others, but you hear footfalls hot on your trail. That assassin's still heading your direction. You wind up running into the old township. Oh my god, Sunspot is more comical than I anticipated. Okay. We will calculate damage on the next screen, by the way. You do wound. And the question is, which attribute will you wound? An interior? You are sprinting? That man has not reached this screen yet. You're running as fast as you can. I reset your stacks to a 1. And we wound. Okay, chat. Red will refuse to be wounded. Yellow, blue, purple. 1, 2, 3. Red's in control right now. 1, 2, or 3. Is Fish Bro? Okay, yeah, we're gonna do a progress update. Okay. Oh, I see. We are throwing Wandering Stray under the bus. Out of here with your logic. Okay. 3, 3, 3. Okay, we're gonna win purple. Oops, forgot to roll to recover first to determine our hit total. That is my bad. Let me... Heal. Recover. We are at 24 HP. 26 now that we're healing. 28 because we're near water. We're doing actually pretty solid in our next wound. And then I wound. Purple. Beast of God is going to remain fucking locked in. So, while you might have taken 39 damage, I have good news about your friend. He only took 21, and believe it or not, the head is still intact. You looking at this guy's stat sheet, this looks like an individual that took out most of his points from stats and invested them in health. Just like, bro, are you all right? Are you all right? Just keep moving. I think there's a temple up ahead. That's the plan. Yes, I am going to go to the temple. I am going to drink the water. I am going to feel better. You continue bearing down on the temple as you feel someone almost close the distance up behind you. Hopping, moving almost like a frog. He's just bouncing around back there. Closing in the distance like, hey, where you going? Why so quick? Come on. Slow down. Come back to us. Take another step back in this direction. Do me a favor. Place your neck against my knife. You stop. Bro. You stop. Why did you stop? It's almost subconscious. It feels like your mind's on fire. Yeah, that's it. Come on. Back over this way. Bro, come on. It's not, it's just a little further. Here, listen to my voice. I'm here. Hi, hello. I roll. You sort of turn. Take another step around. Your large body towers over this small individual. And roll your dice. Oh no. The innocent one, of course, comes out and starts just quietly move over. Hey, this is bad. We are very close to having this secured. Just a little further. Okay, focus. Don't know what they did to you, but please, you're here now. You're here with me. Come on, bro. Focus on the crystal. Listen. Ooh. You actually stop. You exhale. The Mallory assassin in front of you has remained paused, knife glistening with poison. And your logical mind sort of wins out. You freeze for a moment. Exhale. Slowly start to make your way forwards. Bro. You stop in front of the individual. Quietly wait. Hey, that's better. Okay. Well, we could still turn this situation around. Admittedly, the solar night rampaging through the area is kind of frustrating. But, fully honest, as far as a candidate goes, she is almost a perfect vessel. So, I was hoping that we could ambush her, just stuff her in a closet for a while, and let everybody else go about their business, get back to killing each other. Then, she had the audacity to lock up our little HQ. Annoying. Sort of pauses, taps his foot a few times. But, seems like if you fallen back in with our fold, we'll have a much easier time doing that. Because after all, she trusts you. Throws an arm around you. You stay stock still. The basket on your back remains motionless. Oh. Oh. Ah, the watercaster. You brought that guy with you? He remains utterly still, as if a severed head. Brought some sort of grisly trophy with you. I guess it's fitting of a dog. It's the cats that do that. Okay, it's fine. Just hand it over. Everything will be good. That's one candidate already down. That's great. You're making great progress. Almost pats you on the chin. And you exhale again. Having held your breath this entire time, you simply take one step forward. It's a simple motion. Something that could be confused as an awkward act. Maybe your body twitching out on its own. Or there's a lack of coordination that comes with steel. As natural as the air. But you take that step forward. Simply place yourself on the assassin's foot. You stand. Ow. Kinda hurts. You don't move an inch. As you watch the shadow around this individual deepen. Loud impact. A spear is driven directly down into the man's back. Love to see it. The man twitches backwards and rolls, immediately like, oh, okay. Interesting. She slams her spear into the ground and you roll backwards and Lore, almost a little upset, is like, you couldn't aim a little better than that. I had him set up for you. Sorry, it's actually difficult to aim a shot when you're standing in the shadow of whatever that thing is. She points back. Oh, cute, cute, cute. Okay. I understand how it is. Fine. It would bite the hand that feeds. Whatever. He lowers his weapon again. It's fine. It's not like I'm limited to only this body. Even if you get me here, you will not be able to sleep so long as you rest in Vineyard. Do me a favor. Just lie down and die, okay? The Mallory locks in. Is gonna prep. Is red. As you and the Moonblood similarly get ready. Fool's Hope pops out and gives her a quick thumbs up. Good attempted save! Thanks, that actually isn't very much consolation. I was so scared. The voice in the barrel whispers barely. And... Ooh, she gets to go first. Okay. She's just gonna close the distance and start stabbing. Oh, that is going to be a metric shit ton of damage. Unless this guy can dodge. Okay. Cannot. Her spear darts forward and just connects with the man's gut. He almost slumps forward and attempts to throw a knife not at her, but of course at you. Attack headed your direction. We roll for our good old knight's defense. 17 versus the Mallory's roll of 22. The attack is gonna ping you for 12 damage. And you will take 2 additional points of poison build up. Minus 12. And your poison levels are feeling kind of wretched right now. It is now your go as you sort of close in the distance and are going to attempt to punch this man. That's a 1. I, of course, need to go and give us our little heal. Leveling up the regen was very smart, everyone. We've gotten so much value out of it. Okay. And you close, and the Mallory is going to roll 3d6 plus 6. Roll 2d6 plus 6 plus 6. He's got that locked in, and the character sheet ain't working. Love to see a crit roll as you try to close in. And again, this guy just darts to the side and then leaps up on the side of the building. Hey, I got a question. Did the situation change? Is something different? Because last I checked, that old scrap heap over there. He points to you. They were borderline begging for a job that would see them out of this age. The world of trams and cannons doesn't exactly have a spot for knights bound up in steel to be wandering around. Listen, regardless of what you think you're doing, you're now nothing more than an undead abomination. Even if you make it out of here, what future do you have? What world do you have to go back to? You and the Mallory? We're all the same. We made a bad bet. If you can't pause the clock, why not fade away with the age? He almost coils backwards, and I see if your attributes have something to say about this. Lord chooses to sit and listen. Hey, Moonblood, you got... Fascinating. Moonblood actually locks in her red dice and sort of like looks up at this assassin clinging to the wall. And she's like, can't say I exactly get it. but you're like talking and moving right now, right? Even though you're an undead? I think that's kind of awesome. You actually stop and look over. Lord listening. It's what he does best, almost. Look, it's not about the age. Like, we don't get to choose the world we live in. Best thing that we can do is live in it, right? I spend every single day living to the best of my abilities, and that's pretty much all I got. Don't listen to this guy, okay? Somebody like him, who's already given up, shouldn't be your role model. Listen to somebody a little dumber. She lowers her spear and picks it up. Somebody who's willing to actually continue on, regardless of how bleak stuff gets. There's a momentary resonance inside your mind. She certainly doesn't talk like a soldier. None of that grim determination. That's kind of what makes it nice, though. You set yourself again. Right. Okay. Beast of God exhales. Almost a thin curtain of steam emanating from the front of the mask. They set themselves. It's not as easy as you're stating, however. You level the axe. You prep yourself. Being outdone by someone who lives freely, that is something that I can't do. Plus, you point your axe up at the figure, braced against the interior of the archway. For old cynics like us, being outdone here would be an embarrassment. Isn't that correct? You level your axe and honestly feel a weird amount of determination. The battlefield was never quite like this. You prep yourself. Grit your teeth. And feel something again rise to the surface of your mind. As the axe begins to burn, upset at the being that you've become, Beast of God simply spins it once. You remember a time when you were a soldier, fighting alongside the bleak and the disheveled. Yet still, you raise the blade. If this new age doesn't welcome you, that's fine. You'll carve a new age all your own. You leap in the air and attempt to catch the man where he moves. His own evasion, something to behold. He rises to the occasion, and in that moment, these reflexes, trained in battle after battle, meet in midair. You catch yourself, duck down, and feel a rush as you feel a push. A moment that you jut forward, slam into the man, and you feel that sensation grow within you. The axe itself so upset at its contact with the undead that you cut through, a blaze of glory that connects with the man. The attack hits, you ignite, and divide him clean in two. The undead splatters to either side as you simply touch down. Upper body segmented from lower. You again set yourself, get ready, and the man picks himself up, grabs, sticks one arm into the ground, angles his body, and attempts to fling himself violently at you with the absolute last of his energy. Here we go, guys. It's time for one last decision. The axe is glowing in your hand. You've got everything poised. Is it time to block or dodge? Blocking will deal 1d6 damage to you, but your next turn will be forfeit. You will simply hold him in place. Dodging is how you will get the fuck out the way. What do you do? Oh yeah, sorry, was he allowed to use it only once? Once per combat? We started a new one when we changed maps. Should have clarified. Okay. Time to pay the Lutanian price. The man sets himself, blood spilling from the open wound as he flings himself almost like it's almost supernatural. The body angles backwards, and then he flings himself forwards, rolling and rotating, bouncing in the air, cartwheeling towards you. His upper body leaps a mess of limb and bone. The process is horrifying. You simply raise your axe, and in the crook of it, manage to catch the man's blade, bleeding out on the ground. He remains poised there for a moment as he looks up at you. What's the matter? You waiting for an invitation from God? You look down. That same glistening sunlight beaming back at you. No. Something far stronger. And then you hear the dull crack of the brain smasher reduce this man to a puddle on the ground. As with a thud, all of that chainmail just scatters to the ground. It's like it is compressed into a disc of viscera and metal. Your body simply pauses, allows, you pull your axe back, and you allow the stain to slowly spread across the open ground as you look over at the Solar Knight. Much obliged. Beast of God half offers. She, having rushed into the situation, still panting in the heavy armor, is like, okay, I have a question, and everybody needs to be honest with me, okay? Yeah? Yeah, no problem. You don't need to spare my feelings on this one. Yeah, no issue. Agreed. Did I just jump to a conclusion and flatten like an innocent man? You can tell me if I did. You look down at the puddle again. No. That was a good decision, thank you. You barely offer, nodding slightly. The Moonblood kind of sighs and takes a step backwards. Oh. Good, okay. Good then. Nice, I found a few of them burnt to damn near cinders near the exit of the tower. That was your doing, right? She looks over at you. You look down at the axe. Yeah, it seems like the axe is doing you pretty good. You look over at her. Yes, that is how I managed to disentangle myself. Oh, you're locked out right now. Sorry, man. Laura's gonna speak up and, like, look down at the axe. Look at her. Think real hard about everything that happened. Alright. Well, he's not listening. Well, they're not listening. Now's pretty much my only chance to act on this. I think it would probably be the wisest course of action if we handed the axe over. No! In the background, Beast of God roaring lightly. We almost killed ourselves with this thing. I think we should get rid of it. She could obviously wield it better. So, before they come back, decision time. Hey, we handing over Sunspot? Option 1, yes. Option 2, no. Beast of God in the background still roaring. No! I'm seeing Chad's response, okay. Lore, sighing, pulls Sunspot free, struggles for a moment in their grasp, and is like, here. Oh? I thought, wait a second, I thought you were keeping the axe. The Moonblood almost seems a little upset. It seems like it's the best course of action for it not to be in an undead's hands. Similarly, I'm not just giving it to you. Trade. You hold it out. She looks down at Brain Smasher. You sure you want this thing? Shrugs. I need to give that one something in order to placate them properly. So yeah, I'll take the mace. Okay then. I'm trusting you with this. It served me well. Oh, really? What sort of enchantments and stuff does it have on it? Absolutely nothing. She hands over Brain Smasher. I give you Brain Smasher. Congrats. Brain Smasher. Posting it in chat. A large weapon carried by the Solar Knight. She insists it's the weapon best suited for her with no small amount of embarrassment. The number of scars and buried viscera in the weapon confirms her story. +4 to rolls to do, -2 to rolls to die. Basically, every time you get whacked with this, you could put more charge into the hammer and eventually ignite to unleash all of your charges at once, moving up to 5 squares each time, performing an additional attack each time, with bonuses corresponding to the original. If you deal over 30 damage in a single turn, you stun the target, once per combat. Or sorry, more than that. Once per target per session. This weapon is absurdly powerful. Lore picks it up. I see, we've become enlightened hammer mains. You feel Beast of God quietly in the background. Unlock their dice. This is fine. They will graciously accept Brain Smasher. This is not a thing you get to vote on. All right. Well, in that case, what comes next? Moonblood, looks back and forth. Well, we actually managed to sort things out before you arrived. You look between the Moonblooded and the Solar Knight. The Solar Knight takes a step backwards, now hafting her large fucking axe. Indeed we did. We settled our differences, so to speak. You look at them. They are both wounded. You squint for a second. And you look at the Moonblooded. What? You promise not to. Listen, it just worked out this way. It's fine. We're fine. All right. Well. Laura almost takes over. We have work to do. First of all, we've got to find this guy's body parts. You swing the bucket and put it down on the ground. This guy. Oh, that's the watercaster. Yeah. You sort of move your way over. What's up with them? I am missing. Oh my god, he talks. I am missing my limbs and also torso. Anything that you could do to help, I would be actually quite gracious of. We were hunting through the swamp before when we were ambushed. There's somebody else out here, another undead that seems to be as skilled as I am. They prevented us from acquiring all of the body parts that we needed. We just know that they're scattered around the swampland. And the swampland sucks for armored individuals, right? I can handle it. The Moonblood puts up her hand. You all look. Yeah, I've got one problem. I need a steady supply of, well, I need a steady supply of blood to be able to carry on. So, if I'm not dealing with undead or others, well, the whispers come back a little more fervently than before, until eventually I lose control and get blood one way or another. You look at each other. So, if you could find a way to supply me with blood in the meantime, I could hunt down some body parts, no big deal. You both think. And consider for a moment. Oh no, I just saw a suggestion in chat I'm taking. Yeah, we can be your blood bag. What? Everyone looks at you. Huh? Yeah, no big deal, right? Like, our body regenerates and stuff. Yeah, no, seriously, the pure H2O is right over there. It'll heal us up, and yeah, no, We could use this as a means to get all regenerated. The Solar Knight almost stops and is like, I don't like the idea, but it's better than... I guess it's better than any alternative we have. Let's work on finding something else, though, okay? Deal, everyone? The Moonblood puts up her hand. Yeah, deal. No, this works out great for me, actually. Okay. Come with me. She, like, reaches down and picks up the basket. I would prefer to stay with Bro. Well, you're the one who knows where your body parts are. So, whoop. She jumps away into the distance. Solar Knight sort of, like, sighs and is like, okay, well, in that case, I think we've got things with them resolved. What's the plan? You pause. The plan? Well, I've actually been doing some thinking. You say aloud. It's clear enough. You all were called to this land with a purpose. It seems like each of you has a reason to want to seek this severing of mortality thing. Quietly nods. So, I want to figure out what exactly it means and why. That's simple. If I may say my piece as well, this situation is frustrating and I wish to crush any elements of it that have drawn me in. That individual I fought earlier was a member of the Malori and what I believe to be a former superior. The fact that this is still hanging over me, even in my undeath, is frustrating. If I am truly going to begin a new life, I need to cut every single chain that binds me. Ideally, starting with his throat. Understood. Reasonable, if a little vicious. I was thinking, if we needed to pick a place to base ourselves out of, this chapel wouldn't be a terrible idea. Yeah, sure, steal my thunder, fine. She, like, walks up alongside you and sort of moves forward. I don't know what god it belongs to or anything, but the area is easily defensible. We could gather people here, and ideally, we can stop violence between the various competitors. If we could all reach a mutual understanding, I believe we could come to the conclusion of this ritual ideally without our blood being spilled. You move forward and ceremoniously dunk your face in the pure H2O. Your body begins to regenerate almost on sight as I unwound. That's actually... You pull yourself back, having fixed your visage, and, like, sort of move. You don't genuinely seem like the bloodthirsty sort. What prepped you to kill the people of this land? She's quiet. Everyone seems overly eager to attack the others here. Why? Isn't it more common to simply approach and share a civilized discussion? The disdain drips from your lips saying this, yet it was a pressing question in the back of your mind. I think it's the acceptance of why we're here. She turns towards the fountain. If they were given a similar prompt to me, they're here to defy the highest authority of the god. We're here to commit a grand act of heresy. Only one of us can ascend to godhood. She offers you a weak smile. It's enough to get a person to kill, right? Preposterous. You barely offer. But at the same time, genuinely alluring offer. The gods are something that we don't have a keen understanding of. Vinyat was said to worship their own pantheon. is something here. Regardless, we're not going to learn about it on our own, so... You move forwards and extend a hand. Until this defiance of liars is done, partners? Yeah. She turns over at you. And... again, you feel a strange sensation. She slowly extends her hand, yet something almost resonates in the back of your mind. It's a strange gesture, but it almost feels like, in this moment, there is no option. You reach your hand forward and simply freeze. She almost picks up on your gesture and, similarly stops. Yeah, till this is done, partners. She smiles and nods. You take your hand back and quietly put it at your side. Exhaling slightly, you notice the slight tremble moving through your body dissipate, a little bit at a time. Well, I better get to drinking. Guess I'm a blood factory now. Yeah, you do that. I'll keep an eye out for others. Hey, while you're out there, any luck encountering that necromancer? No. Unfortunately not. Right, okay. Yeah, I missed her as well. Have fun! She walks outside as you move your way over to the pool, place a hand on it, and again, let the thoughts of what the Mallory said to you earlier cascade over your mind quietly. An age run by miserable cynics come to an end. That's probably what you want, right? The water almost quietly slips between your fingers. An age without miserable cynics. Where does somebody like you belong? And I bring us back. Excellent work surviving yet again. We've made it to this point, which means the scenario has fundamentally changed. It seems that your goal is not the completion of this ritual, but its comprehension and defilement. In that case, your objectives are now different. We may not see each other to the end of this journey, but I absolutely wish you the best of luck in uncovering the truth of this place. If you are able to discover the purpose behind this ritual, and why those who are gathered here flock to this land, you may be able to discover a future that none of us imagine. However, I must caution you of one thing. Fighting and slaying the contestants, claiming godhood for oneself, that would have been the easiest path. Instead, defying the death that naturally comes to this land, that will take a type of power and cunning that will be difficult to muster in your current mind state. I wish you the best of luck in uncovering the conspiracy behind this in your current uncoordinated state. You have certainly chosen a difficult road. As such, it is time to ask the same question as before. If I were going to send the knight a new attribute, which color would I choose? Purple is no longer an option. Only green and orange remain. Starting from here on, things will get more difficult, particularly if you explore the option of knowledge and peace. Make your decision carefully. Similarly, choose which attribute will take the backline. I will give you a prolonged period of time to make this decision. It seems that you all are quite close on this subject in particular. As such, we will consult the time-honored tradition and call upon the coin. Regardless of the result, we will determine this new attribute's name at the beginning of when we next meet. One is green, 2 is orange. We will be gaining a green attribute when next we meet. Alright. Think deeply on not only how to equip our, but which attribute, what to name this new attribute of ours. Again, the path you walk is exceptionally difficult. Please, regardless of what happens, accept your fate with grace. Approaches the campfire, and the sound of rushing water again meets your ears. You lie on a distant seashore. The war that was supposed to claim your life, simply eddying and flowing around you like rushing water. You were sent here to die, yet your body still draws breath. You pick the meteor shard up and stare through it, allowing the light to refract downwards, your vision becoming hazy for a moment. If you survive this, what's next? It is the question that you have asked yourself since that day in the field. In endless progression of bloodshed and violence in front of you. You felt death gathering in that office. You felt the sickening age of the Mallory coming to an end. And you felt a sensation of pure relief. Maybe the next generation, those that would know the world after you, might be able to answer this question. It was all you hoped for. A release and the relief. Yet, the water flows around you again. It grows harder every single day. What was it you said to that man? Another person clinging to the old ways of the world. You felt in that moment that you were at your absolute strongest. And for a moment, the impetuous spirit of the one standing next to you drew out a little segment of fire you didn't know you even had. Perhaps this new age. Water rushes around you again. This time, of your own volition. And another one. Something is attached to the back of your head simply chewing, while you sit, your deadened nerves providing actually quite the conduit for this experience. You softly sip away at the side of the water, reflecting deeply on this experience. As you remember, a time when things were different. And with that, we call this session to a close.
Yeah.
Good work, squad. Everyone,
Yeah.
wonderful job this session. Fucking godlike emergent storytelling. We'd love to see it. Next time we'll meet on Wednesday. Please join the official Discord if
Yeah.
you want to vote on not only what ability, who's getting what, who gets the Brain Smasher. Like, this is very important of who gets the Brain Smasher, guys.
And specifically, this will be Wednesday, December 6th at 8
Yes.
EST on twitch.tv/Stabbyness if you want to participate live. And also throughout the week, between now and then, we will have those polls on the Discord. So make sure to join the official Discord by clicking that link below so you can participate even if you're not there live.
Y'all are the fucking best. You ran a goddamn good session. Nice job, me putting you in like rough ass situations, and you're like, nah, I gotta play and steal the rifle. Who gets the gun? Who gets the fucking gun? Okay, no, that's a later issue. For now,
Yeah,
we got fan art.
we have some fan art. Let me share this with you, Jay. Tell me when
Fuck.
Tell me when you can see it. Thank you, Jack Twitch, for putting out this Imgur like you have been so much recently. But first off, from Darwin, we have a Fool's Hope.
Oh, it's so lovely.
Yeah. And then from Honor Spell, yeah, fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
And then,
Oh my god.
the Solar Axe for the Solar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, and the Friend Bucket. Thank you for that punching me.
But
I wanted,
imagine, guys.
I wanted the punch so bad. Burple?
Burple has energy, man.
Yeah, and then
Yo,
tentacles, yeah.
oh my god.
Braiding the tail and the hair.
Braiding the tail and the hair, holy shit.
Oh my god, just a silly fish dog night. Yeah,
It's just
boy.
a silly fish dog night.
And then we have dog versus cat. Serious and dramatic fan art. Thank you. And flow like water. This is from Space Case, who I haven't seen do fan art before. I gave them the artist role today.
God tier.
so
God
yeah.
fucking tier.
It's wonderful. And then from Rion, who couldn't make the session. Yeah.
Bark? Question mark?
Our bro. This has Christian energy on it, you know? Like, from our spell.
That's your bro.
Yeah. And then, yeah, we got Purple Knight.
You got the creature.
Think fast, chuckle nuts. Yeah. And then from Space Case, we have fight like a beast.
Oh, oh, that's so sick.
That's sick shit. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you all for coming out. Like I said 20 million times before, please join the Discord. Please come back next week, December 6th on Wednesday at 8 EST, twitch.tv/Stabbyness. And if you want to support us monetarily, because Jay has put a lot of effort into obviously running this, obviously drawing the art, obviously running these polls and all this great ideas, pretty much a one-man show other than me streaming it. Support the SentimentTTRPG Patreon, where you can join the official Discord chat and get a second vote on those Patreon, on those straw poll Discord votes polls things. Yeah, that's the word.
Fucking y'all are the best. I'm gonna be living in the vibes of this for a while. I'm like, yeah, if you want to follow up, comment on the session, pat yourselves on the back, go to the Discord. Y'all are the best.
I think it's time to say bye.
I think it's time to say bye. Good night, chat.
Later.